Aging is something we all go through, but how we age is often up to us. Some people feel tired, lonely, or discouraged by the time they hit their 50s, while others are still full of energy, curiosity, and joy well into their 70s and 80s. So what's the difference? It's not magic and it's not luck. It's daily choices, mindset, and small habits that shape the way we experience life, no matter how many candles are on the cake. In today's video, I'll share 7 simple and powerful ways to stay young in spirit, strong in body, and peaceful in mind, even as the years go by. You don't need to spend a lot of money. You don't need a big life change. You just need a little awareness, a bit of inspiration, and a willingness to keep growing. We'll talk about how daily routines, staying mentally active, following your passions, and nurturing relationships can help you live with more meaning and less stress. These aren't complicated steps. They're real, down-to-earth habits that can bring more joy, clarity, and confidence into your everyday life. So if you're someone who wants to age with grace, energy, and a smile, or if you're just looking for simple ways to feel better inside and out, this video is for you. Don't forget to subscribe for more uplifting and practical videos like this one. And please leave a comment below. What helps you feel young at heart, no matter your age? I'd love to hear your story. Now let's get started. 7. Slow down and discover yourself. One of the most underrated gifts of getting older is time. Time to slow down, time to reflect, and time to truly understand yourself. In the rush of youth and middle age, many people spend decades focusing on work, family responsibilities, and the constant demands of daily life. It's easy to lose track of what you truly want or need. But later in life, when the pace naturally begins to slow, something beautiful happens. You finally have space to listen to yourself. At first, slowing down can feel unfamiliar. Many people are used to being busy from sunrise to sunset. But once you step away from that constant movement, you might begin to notice things you hadn't before. The way sunlight hits your window in the morning, the quiet comfort of a cup of tea, or even just how you're feeling inside. That's the beginning of self-awareness, a calm, gentle recognition of who you are and what really matters to you now. Maybe you discover that you enjoy solitude more than you used to, or that nature brings you peace in a way it didn't when you were younger. Perhaps you realize you've always wanted to paint, write, or simply spend more time with your grandchildren. When the pressure to achieve or perform fades, you're left with the opportunity to ask a simple but powerful question. What makes me happy now? This isn't always easy. Sometimes, slowing down means facing feelings or memories you've ignored. It might bring up regrets or remind you of things you never had the chance to do. But even these reflections are valuable. They help you see your life clearly, not through the lens of what others expect, but through your own truth. Knowing yourself also means understanding your needs. What kind of routine helps you feel your best? Do you feel more energized in the morning or evening? Which people bring you joy, and which situations leave you feeling drained? By paying attention to these small signals, you begin to shape a daily life that supports your well-being, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Take, for example, Mr. Rowland, a retired school principal. For years, his days were filled with meetings, phone calls, and responsibility. When he retired, he felt lost. But slowly, he started taking short walks each morning. At first, it was just for exercise. But over time, those walks became something more, a time to reflect, to breathe, to notice the world around him. He realized that what he truly enjoyed wasn't the fast-paced life, but quiet moments of presence. He began journaling, cooking simple meals, and reconnecting with old friends. His life became slower, yes, but also deeper, more meaningful. Slowing down doesn't mean giving up. It means choosing what to hold on to and what to let go of. Many older adults find freedom in this stage of life. You're no longer trying to prove anything. You can release old pressures, perfectionism, or fears of what others think. That freedom allows you to live in a way that's more authentic and peaceful. And this peace is powerful. It reduces stress, lowers blood pressure, and even supports brain health. In fact, many doctors now recommend mindfulness and relaxation practices as essential parts of healthy aging. Whether it's deep breathing, light meditation, or simply sitting quietly with your thoughts, taking time to connect with yourself can do wonders for your body and mind. It's also important to remember that slowing down doesn't mean becoming isolated. On the contrary, when you're more in tune with yourself, you're often better able to connect with others. You know what kind of conversations lift your spirits. You become more patient, more present, and more compassionate because you've taken the time to be kind to yourself first. You might start to notice that your days feel fuller, even when you're doing less. That's because the quality of your moments increases when you're fully present. A simple phone call with a friend, a walk through your garden, or a quiet evening with music can feel richer than a week full of busy errands. And when challenges come, as they always do, you're better prepared to face them. Because when you know yourself, you know how to care for yourself. You know when to ask for help, when to rest, and when to keep going. Aging is often spoken of in terms of loss of speed, strength, memory. But that's not the full story. With each year comes the potential for greater wisdom, deeper insight, and a stronger connection to your true self. So if you find yourself in a slower season of life, embrace it. This is your time to reflect, to simplify, and to live in alignment with what really matters. You don't need to rush. You don't need to impress. You just need to be, and be kind to the person you've become. Because at the end of the day, when you honor who you are and give yourself the attention and care you deserve, age becomes just a number. What truly counts is how you feel, how you live, and how you love yourself and the life you're living every single day. 6. Social connections are the best anti-aging vitamin. We often think of aging in terms of physical changes, gray hair, slower steps, maybe a few more doctor visits. But there's another side to growing older that isn't talked about enough, the emotional and social part. Staying connected to others is one of the most powerful ways to stay young at heart, and research continues to show just how important our relationships are to our health. Imagine waking up in the morning and having someone to talk to over breakfast. It could be a spouse, a friend, or even a neighbor. That small exchange, a shared smile, a joke, how are you today, might seem simple, but it nourishes something deep inside us. It gives us a sense of belonging, of being seen and heard. And this, in many ways, is just as important as food or medicine. Many older adults worry about loneliness. As children grow up and move away, spouses pass on, or friends relocate, the risk of isolation can quietly grow. But here's the good news. Loneliness is not a sentence. It's something we can change, no matter our age, by reaching out and staying socially active. Take Mr. James, for example. After his wife passed away, he spent nearly a year without much contact with others. He didn't want to burden his children, and he didn't feel comfortable going to group events alone. But one day, his daughter gently encouraged him to join a local walking club. He was hesitant, but he went just once to try. That walk turned into a weekly habit, and soon he was meeting the same people regularly. They talked about their favorite TV shows, swapped recipes, and even planned small picnics. Slowly, his days felt fuller. His laughter returned. His memory even felt sharper, something he hadn't expected. Stories like this are more than heartwarming. They are supported by science. Studies have shown that people with strong social ties tend to have better immune systems, lower rates of depression, and even a reduced risk of dementia. Conversations, laughter, shared experiences, these things keep our brains active and our spirits high. They stimulate parts of the brain responsible for memory and emotion. In a way, connecting with others is like exercise for your mind and soul. You don't need a big crowd to feel connected. Even one close friend or a good conversation can make a big difference. It could be a weekly phone call with an old friend, chatting with the cashier at your local market, or joining a small book club at the library. What matters is the feeling of being involved, of giving and receiving attention and care. And if you're someone who's naturally shy or unsure where to begin, that's okay. Start small. Say hello to your neighbor. Visit a local community center just to observe. Smile at someone at the park. Connection doesn't always happen instantly, but every small step counts. The more we put ourselves in situations where interaction is possible, the more we invite warmth and companionship into our lives. Social engagement can take many forms. Some people enjoy volunteering, helping out at a food bank, or tutoring children. Others find joy in creative groups, painting classes, choir groups, or gardening clubs. Even online spaces can offer meaningful connections, especially if mobility is limited. Video calls with family, online classes, or even sharing photos in a group chat can create a feeling of closeness. It's also worth noting that maintaining relationships takes a bit of effort, especially as we age. But that effort is well worth it. A simple check-in message, a shared meal, or a birthday card can nurture friendships and keep bonds strong. And these small acts of connection often come back to us in the form of emotional support, laughter, and shared memories. Let's not forget the joy of multi-generational relationships. Spending time with younger people, whether it's your grandchildren, neighbors' kids, or youth from your community, brings fresh energy and perspective. You can share your stories and life lessons, and in return, you get to see the world through new, curious eyes. It's a beautiful exchange that keeps the spirit lively and reminds us of our place in the larger circle of life. Aging doesn't have to mean withdrawing from the world. On the contrary, it could be a time to reach out more, to deepen the relationships that matter, and to create new ones. The human heart doesn't grow old in the same way the body does. It stays open to connection, to laughter, to love, if we let it. So if you ever feel the quiet creeping in, try opening your door to someone. Invite a friend for tea, join a hobby group, or simply strike up a conversation with someone sitting next to you at the doctor's office. These moments of connection may seem small, but over time, they build a life that feels full and alive. Just like vitamins help the body stay strong, relationships keep the spirit young. They lift us when we're down, celebrate with us when we're happy, and remind us that we are never truly alone. In the end, what makes a life rich isn't just what we've done, but who we've shared it with. And it's never too late to share a little more. 5. Every stage of life has its own beauty. There is something deeply comforting in realizing that every age brings its own kind of joy. When we are young, we tend to look forward, dreaming of the future, of who we might become. As we grow older, we often find ourselves looking back, remembering moments, people, and choices that shaped us. But what if the secret to happiness isn't in looking forward or back, but in truly seeing and appreciating where we are right now? Each stage of life holds something precious. In youth, we have energy, the kind that lets us run, stay up late, and explore the world without fear. In adulthood, we often build careers, raise families, and create a sense of purpose through what we do. In an older age, we gain something just as valuable: perspective. We begin to see what really matters. We learn to let go of things that once made us anxious and to treasure small, everyday joys. Think of life like a tree. In spring, the tree blossoms, full of energy and potential. In summer, it grows tall and strong, bearing fruit. In autumn, the leaves change color, creating beauty that's quieter but no less breathtaking. And in winter, though it rests, the tree is still alive, full of wisdom and waiting for another season to begin. No stage is better than the other. They are all necessary, all meaningful. Too often, society makes us feel like getting older is something to fear or hide. Wrinkles are covered, gray hair is dyed, and the word old is spoken in a whisper. But what if we change that story? What if we saw aging not as a decline, but as a continuation, a chapter filled with insight, acceptance, and peace? Take, for example, Mrs. Lawn, a retired teacher. In her 30s and 40s, she was always busy, managing a classroom, caring for her children, juggling responsibilities. Life was full and fast. Now, in her 70s, her pace is slower, but her days are richer in a different way. She spends mornings in her garden, afternoons reading poetry, and evenings calling her grandchildren. She no longer rushes. She listens more. She laughs freely. She says she feels more herself now than she ever did before. Learning to accept and love yourself at every age is a powerful gift. It means recognizing the strength in your younger self, honoring the struggles and successes of your middle years, and finding grace in the quiet wisdom of older age. It means not comparing who you are today to who you were yesterday, but instead embracing who you are becoming. Of course, it's natural to miss certain things. You may miss the energy you had in your 20s or the sense of purpose you had when your children were small. But rather than longing for the past, try asking, what can I enjoy today? What does this season of life offer that no other can? Maybe now you have more time to rest, to travel, to try something new. Maybe you're finally able to sleep in, eat breakfast slowly, and take afternoon walks without needing to be anywhere else. These moments are gifts. They are beautiful in ways that may not be loud or flashy, but they are deeply satisfying. It also helps to remember that joy doesn't disappear with age. It simply changes form. It becomes quieter, perhaps, but more meaningful. Like the joy of seeing your grandchild take their first steps, or the joy of having a good conversation with an old friend, or even the joy of sitting quietly on your porch, watching the sunset, feeling the breeze on your face. These joys don't need to be earned. They are yours because you've lived. You've grown. You made it to a point where you can finally slow down and appreciate what life is, not just what it could be. And if you're someone who finds it hard to accept aging, try this. Look in the mirror and speak kindly to yourself. Instead of seeing wrinkles, see stories. Instead of seeing gray hair, see experience. Instead of saying, I wish I were younger, say I'm grateful to be here. Happiness doesn't belong only to the young. It belongs to anyone who chooses to be present. Anyone who chooses to live fully in whatever season they're in. Life is not a race with one winner. It's a journey, and each step has something to offer. So don't regret getting older. It's a privilege denied to many. Don't rush to stay young. Instead, stay curious. Stay kind. Stay open to what this stage of life can bring you. Whether you're 40, 60, or 90, you are still becoming. You are still capable of joy, love, discovery, and meaning. Every wrinkle is a line in your story. Every gray hair is proof that you've lived, loved, and learned. Treasure this chapter. There is beauty here, just as there was in all the ones before. And maybe, just maybe, it's the most beautiful chapter yet. 4. Passion has no age. We often hear the phrase, "You're too old for that," whispered gently or even said outright. But the truth is, passion doesn't follow a calendar. It doesn't look at your birth year. It doesn't care if you're 25 or 85. Passion is timeless. And the moment we allow ourselves to believe that we're too old to do something we love, we place a limit on the very thing that keeps life vibrant: our joy. Many people associate retirement with rest. And while rest is important, it's not the only thing we need. In fact, one of the most powerful ways to stay mentally and emotionally alive in later years is to pursue something that excites you. That could be music, gardening, painting, dancing, writing, or even learning a new language. Take Mr. George, for example, a man who picked up the violin at 76. He never had the time or opportunity when he was younger, but it was something he had always wanted to try. At first, he struggled with the bow. His fingers moved slowly, and the notes came out scratchy. But he kept at it day by day. 2 years later, he played a simple piece in front of his grandchildren, tears in their eyes. Not because he was perfect, but because he showed them that it's never too late to try. Pursuing passion isn't about becoming a master. It's about doing what lights you up inside. When you spend time on something you truly enjoy, your mind becomes sharper, your heart feels fuller, and your days gain more meaning. You have a reason to wake up excited. You have stories to tell. You inspire others, often without even knowing it. There's also science behind this. Studies have shown that engaging in creative activities or hobbies later in life helps improve memory, reduce stress, and even delay symptoms of cognitive decline. Whether it's painting landscapes or planting tomatoes, the act of creating and caring for something new builds mental flexibility and emotional resilience. Let's not forget the power of community. Many older adults find their passion through joining local clubs, taking online classes, or attending community events. Imagine an 82-year-old learning how to dance salsa with a group of friends at the local center. At first, she may be shy or feel silly, but the music, the laughter, and the shared experience create a joy that can't be matched. Then there are those who travel. People who once dreamed of seeing the Eiffel Tower or walking along cherry blossoms in Japan, and finally decide, why not now? There's a woman named Martha who, after retiring at 68, began traveling solo every year. By 75, she had visited 20 countries, met new people, and collected stories that made her feel more alive than ever before. What these people have in common is not youth. It's not money. It's not perfect health. What they share is courage. The courage to believe that life doesn't end with retirement. That their dreams, no matter how small or silly they may seem, are still worth chasing. It's easy to let fear or doubt creep in. You might wonder, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? But the truth is, there is no failure in trying something you love. There is only growth, learning, and joy. And even if you stumble, you're still moving forward. You may also think, but what will people say? The real question is, what will you say to yourself if you let your dreams go untouched? So whether you've always wanted to write a book, grow a vegetable garden, dance to your favorite song, or simply learn how to bake that perfect loaf of bread, start now. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now, because your passion has been waiting for you, and you never know who you might inspire along the way. Maybe a grandchild will see your joy and feel brave enough to chase their own dreams. Maybe a neighbor will find the courage to sign up for the art class they've been afraid to join. Passion has a beautiful way of spreading. Age does not take away your right to dream. It does not take away your ability to create. It only gives you more stories to tell, more memories to cherish, and more moments to make. So if there's something tugging at your heart, a little voice saying, I've always wanted to do that, listen to it. Follow it. Let it lead you somewhere new. Because passion doesn't care how many candles were on your last birthday cake. It only cares that you're still willing to dream, to try, and to feel alive. And that truly has no age. 3. What you do each day determines whether you feel young or old. When we talk about staying young, many people think of wrinkle creams or supplements that promise magical results. But the real key to feeling youthful isn't found in a bottle or a commercial. It's found in your daily choices. The simple things you do day in and day out play the biggest role in how young or old you feel, both in your body and your mind. Let's start with the basics: movement, food, and sleep. These three might sound ordinary, but they are the foundation of long-lasting health. Even light exercise, like walking for 20 or 30 minutes a day, can improve your circulation, strengthen your heart, and clear your mind. You don't have to run a marathon or lift heavy weights. Just staying active in small, regular ways helps your body stay flexible and your energy levels stay strong. Think of your body as a car. If it's left in the garage too long, it becomes stiff and hard to start. But if it's used gently and regularly, it stays in good working order. Next is food. Eating a variety of colorful fruits and vegetables, choosing whole grains, and avoiding too much sugar or processed food can do wonders for your body. A healthy diet keeps your organs working well, your skin glowing, and your mind sharp. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. One salad won't change your life, but eating more greens over time will. One glass of water won't transform your health, but making hydration a habit can help everything from your joints to your memory. And don't underestimate sleep. Getting enough rest allows your body to heal, your brain to process, and your mood to stabilize. Many older adults struggle with sleep, but small habits like going to bed at the same time each night, limiting caffeine, or creating a calming bedtime routine can make a big difference. When you sleep well, you wake up feeling refreshed, and that's one of the most important steps toward feeling young. But physical health is only one part of the picture. Your brain needs daily care, too. Learning something new, even something small, helps keep your mind sharp. That might mean reading a book, trying a puzzle, or even watching a documentary. Some people enjoy learning a new language or picking up a hobby they always wanted to try, like painting or gardening. These aren't just pastimes, they're mental exercise. Just like your muscles need movement, your brain needs stimulation. Don't worry if it takes longer to learn something new. The point isn't speed, it's engagement. When your brain is challenged in a gentle, enjoyable way, it continues to grow and adapt, even into your 80s and beyond. It's also helpful to spend time outdoors when possible. A short walk in the morning sun, or sitting in a garden while listening to the birds, gives you both physical movement and emotional peace. Nature has a special way of making us feel alive and connected, no matter our age. You might be wondering if all this really works. The answer is yes, but not overnight. These habits don't bring dramatic results in a day or two. Instead, they work like drops of water filling a jar. Each healthy meal, each walk, each night of good sleep adds up. Over weeks, then months, you begin to feel the difference. Your energy improves. Your thinking becomes clearer. You smile more often without knowing why. This is where many people get discouraged. They want fast changes. But lasting health doesn't come from sudden effort. It comes from quiet consistency. And that's actually good news. It means you don't need big, dramatic actions to stay young. You just need small, steady habits that you do with care. Here's the truth. Aging is not a problem to be solved. It's a journey to be lived. You can't stop the clock, but you can decide how you travel through time. Will you let age define you, or will you define age for yourself? There are people in their 40s who feel old, tired, and stuck, and others in their 80s who are full of energy, ideas, and joy. The difference isn't just in their bodies. It's in how they choose to live. A positive attitude, a willingness to keep moving, and the courage to try something new each day. These are the habits that keep you young at heart. So don't wait for the perfect time. Start today. Take a walk. Drink a glass of water. Stretch your arms. Call a friend. Try something you've never done before, even if it's as small as writing in a journal or listening to a new kind of music. Remember, there is no magic formula, no secret technique, only small actions repeated with love and patience that create a life of vitality and purpose. Your age is just a number, but your spirit, your choices, and your daily habits, those are what truly define how young you are. 2. The body may change, but the spirit is eternal. When we talk about aging, most people think about physical changes first, slower steps, grayer hair, perhaps a few more wrinkles around the eyes. These signs are natural. They happen to everyone. But what often gets overlooked is something much more important. While the body may change, the spirit, your inner spark, your curiosity, your sense of joy, can remain as strong and vibrant as ever. Just because the body moves slower doesn't mean the mind must follow. In fact, many older adults say they feel sharper, more insightful, and more emotionally wise than they ever did in their younger years. Why? Because experience adds layers of understanding. Because reflection brings perspective. And because the desire to learn and grow doesn't disappear unless we let it. There's a quiet power in keeping an open mind as we age. When you stay curious, you stay connected to the world around you. Reading the newspaper, learning how to use a new app, asking your grandchildren about the latest trends. These may seem like small things, but they all keep the mind active and alert. You're not just passing time, you're participating in life. Let's take Mrs. Thompson, for example. She's 82 and just started learning Spanish. Not because she plans to travel, although she might, but because she wanted to challenge her brain and connect with her bilingual neighbors. She studies 10 minutes a day, and each time she masters a new phrase, she lights up with pride. That's the spirit we're talking about. It's not about speed, it's about intention. Keeping your mind open doesn't mean you have to master new skills every day. It could be as simple as asking questions, listening to different viewpoints, or reflecting on old memories in new light. Mental flexibility is like exercise for the brain. It helps maintain clarity, creativity, and emotional resilience. Research supports this, too. Studies show that older adults who continue to learn, engage in hobbies, or stay socially connected report higher levels of happiness and lower rates of depression and cognitive decline. In other words, staying mentally active isn't just good for your brain. It's good for your heart and your soul. And what about the idea that aging means stopping, retiring from everything, or shrinking into the background? It's just not true. This phase of life can be one of the richest. You have stories, wisdom, and a lifetime of perspective that no one else can replicate. You've overcome challenges, built relationships, learned from mistakes, and all of this gives your spirit strength. Don't let society tell you that you're too old for something. If you want to try painting, do it. If you've always wanted to write a memoir, start jotting down those stories. If you're curious about how the internet works, ask someone to teach you. The important thing is to stay engaged with life, because life still wants you here, participating, questioning, exploring. Many cultures around the world treasure their elders as living libraries, people who carry the history, the wisdom, and the soul of their communities. But even more important than being a source of wisdom for others is being a source of energy for yourself. Keep fueling your own spirit. Keep asking, what else is out there for me to learn? Who else can I meet? What joy can I still find? Think of your spirit like a fire. It may need kindling now and then, a good conversation, a walk in nature, a new book, but the flame itself never has to go out. The more you feed it, the brighter it burns. Aging does bring challenges. Some days may feel slower, heavier, or more difficult than before. But your spirit isn't defined by pain or fatigue. It's defined by how you respond, by your humor, your compassion, your quiet determination to keep showing up. And here's something beautiful. The older we get, the more we're able to appreciate the little things. A cup of tea in the morning, the sound of birds outside the window, a phone call from a loved one. These simple joys are the treasures of a well-lived life, and noticing them is one of the signs of a strong, present spirit. So, the next time you find yourself thinking, "I'm too old for this," pause. Ask yourself where that thought came from. Was it from someone else's voice, or from a habit of self-doubt that no longer serves you? Then gently replace it with, "I can still try. I can still enjoy. I can still grow." Your spirit is not bound by the years on your calendar. It's timeless. It's yours. And every day you choose to keep it curious, kind, and open, you remind the world and yourself that the most beautiful parts of life don't fade with age. They deepen. 1. Age does not define your worth. Have you ever looked in a mirror and thought, "I'm getting old. Maybe it's too late for me"? If you have, you're not alone. Many older adults silently carry this thought with them, shaped by a world that often associates youth with success, beauty, or purpose. But here's the truth that's too often forgotten. Your age is just a number. It does not define your value, your potential, or your ability to make a difference. Think of people like Grandma Mary, who started painting at 76 and now teaches watercolor classes at her community center. Or Mr. Tanaka from Japan, who began running marathons at the age of 80 and says he feels younger with each race. Stories like theirs remind us of something important. It's not how old you are, but how alive you feel and what you choose to do with your time that truly matters. As we grow older, society often pushes subtle and not so subtle messages telling us to slow down, take it easy, or worse, step aside. But slowing down doesn't mean giving up. It means adjusting your pace, not abandoning your path. You still have dreams, preferences, wisdom, and yes, a role to play. Your worth isn't measured by how many candles are on your birthday cake. It's measured by your kindness, your ability to listen, the joy you bring to others, and how you face life's challenges. A 75-year-old who comforts a grieving friend, or a 90-year-old who volunteers at a local shelter, holds as much, if not more, value than someone half their age. Living each day with purpose is one of the most powerful choices you can make. Whether it's tending your garden, mentoring a younger neighbor, or even learning a new recipe, these small actions build a sense of fulfillment. Purpose keeps your mind sharp and your heart open. Confidence plays a key role here. Many older adults underestimate themselves because they've been told, directly or indirectly, that they're past their prime. But confidence isn't about being loud or flashy. It's about trusting your inner compass, knowing that your experience matters, and believing that you still have something to give. If you've ever wanted to take a dance class, pick up a guitar, or learn how to use a smartphone, why not now? Don't let age stop you. The biggest barrier is not your knees or your eyesight. It's the little voice inside saying, "That's not for me anymore." But that voice can be retrained. Try this. The next time you hear that doubt creeping in, ask yourself, if I were 30, would I hesitate? If the answer is no, then your age isn't the issue. It's the story you've been told. You have every right to learn, to laugh, to grow, and to change, no matter how old you are. Education doesn't stop at 18 or 21. Life is a school that doesn't close its doors, and you are a lifelong learner. Read a new book, ask questions, explore a new topic. Not only does this keep your brain active, but it also brings a renewed sense of wonder into your life. Play, too, is important, even for adults. Especially for adults. Whether it's board games with grandchildren, a puzzle on your kitchen table, or a walk through the park where you notice the birds, play brings joy. It keeps your spirit light and your mood balanced. And let's not forget how your example can inspire others. When younger people see an older adult staying curious, compassionate, and engaged, it teaches them that aging isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. You're a living reminder that life doesn't end at retirement, it evolves. So the next time someone asks how old you are, smile and say it proudly. But remember that your number doesn't tell the whole story. What matters is how you show up for life. Age may touch your skin, but your spirit, that can stay forever young. Let this be a gentle invitation, not a push, but a reminder that you are enough. Not because of your productivity or your past, but because of who you are right now. Because you matter, and you always have. And if today feels ordinary, that's okay too. Ordinary days are where the quiet miracles happen. A thoughtful phone call, a shared memory, a small act of kindness. These are the threads that weave a meaningful life at any age. So go ahead, learn something, try something, share something. You don't need anyone's permission to grow, especially not the calendar's.